All right, today we're going to break down a skill that can literally change your life. It's all about this: how to talk to anyone. You know that feeling, right? You're in a room, you see someone you'd love to talk to. You think, okay, I'm going to do it. But then you try to speak and nothing. The words just get stuck. And then the moment's gone. It's the worst. Well, if that sounds even a little bit familiar, you are in exactly the right place. Because being able to talk to people, that's not just some soft skill you put on a resume. No, it's a real deal power. It's the power to build friendships, to find opportunities, to literally create the life you want. So where do we even begin with all this? Well, we have to face the biggest monster in the room right away. And that brings us to Section 1, the fear of conversation. And these fears, they are totally normal. I mean, that little voice in your head can get so loud, can it? It's always screaming things like, what if they just ignore me? Or the big one, what if I say the wrong thing and sound like a total idiot? That little voice, that's the #1 roadblock for almost everybody. But here's the thing. This is the mindset shift that unlocks everything. You've got to change your goal. The mantra is this: forget perfection, build connection. You're not trying to give a flawless performance. You're just trying to connect with another human being. That's it. And you have to remember, nobody's looking for a perfect robot. They want to talk to a real, genuine person. Being authentic, it's like a magnet. Honestly, your little quirks, your imperfections, that's the stuff that makes people feel like they can actually relate to you. Okay, so we're all in on connection over perfection. So what's the best tool we have for that? Well, it might surprise you. Let's jump into Section 2, listening. Yeah, you heard me. Listening, the greatest skill. I know, it sounds kind of backward, right? To be a great talker, you have to be a great listener. But just think about it for a second. Most people are just waiting for their turn to talk. They're not really listening. So when you're the person who actually genuinely listens, wow, you become unforgettable. And the good news is, this is a skill you can totally practice. Here are a few super simple tips. First, and this is the hardest one, just resist that urge to interrupt. Let them finish their thought. While they're talking, nod your head. It shows you're locked in. And then throw in some small verbal cues, like, or you're right. It tells them you're right there with them. All right, so our mindset is right, we're ready to listen. But what about that terrifying first step? How do we actually, break the ice? Well, that is what Section 3 is all about: how to start a conversation. That first sentence is always the toughest, so let's make it ridiculously easy. I'm going to give you 3 simple ways to begin. Step 1, just make an observation about where you are. Something like, wow, this music is great. Step 2, just ask a question. And step 3, give them an honest compliment. Now let's just zoom in on that last one, the compliment, because it is so powerful. But here's the catch. It has to be honest. People have like a built-in detector for fake stuff, They can tell if you're being insincere. But a real, genuine compliment about something you actually appreciate, man, that is a golden ticket to a good conversation. Okay, so you've used one of the openers, the conversation has actually started. Now what? Well, believe it or not, what you're saying is only half the battle. So let's dive into Section 4, the magic of body language. You really can't underestimate this stuff. Your body is talking even when your mouth isn't. A real smile, that's like a universal welcome sign. Making good, confident eye contact, that builds trust instantly. And keeping your posture open with your hands visible signals that you're approachable and not a threat. Okay, you ready for a real secret weapon? This one is about what you say, but it has all the power of body language. It's so simple, but almost nobody does it. It's this: use the other person's name. Once you learn it, find a natural way to say it back to them, maybe once or twice during the chat. And there's some cool psychology behind this. For every single one of us, hearing our own name is, well, it's like music to our ears. It actually lights up a special part of our brain and makes us feel seen, It creates this subconscious connection. It's a simple way of saying, hey, I see you. All right, we are at the final step. You've gotten past the fear, you've started talking, you're listening, you're using great body language. Awesome. But how do you make sure that person actually remembers you after you walk away? Let's get into our last section, how to be memorable. It really just boils down to this. People forget facts, but they remember stories. So instead of just listing off data about your job or your weekend, try to weave it into a tiny story. And, this is just as important, be curious about them. Ask questions that get them to tell you their stories. That combination, telling stories and being curious, that is the magic formula for being memorable. So there you have it. We've talked about getting over the fear, the incredible power of listening, how to break the ice, body language, and how to stick in someone's mind. The lesson part is over. Now the only thing left is practice. So I'm going to leave you with one final simple question to think about. Who will you talk to today?